Today we are going to understand some important facts about Sanskrit language and its popularity and its primitive history, which is really interesting. What is generally called classical Sanskrit, but is actually a language close to late Vedic, as then used in the northwest of the subcontinent, was elegantly described in one of the finest grammars ever produced, the Astadhyayi, 8 chapters composed by Panini. The Astadhyayi, in turn, was the object of a rich commentatorial literature, documents of which are known from the time of Katyayana, 4th-3rd century BCE onward. In the same Paninian tradition, there was a long history of work on semantics and the philosophy of language, the pinnacle of which is represented by the Vakya Padya, treatise on sentence and word of Bhartari. Over its long history, Sanskrit has been written both in Devanagari script and in various regional scripts, such as Shraddha from the North Kashmir, Bangla, in the East Gujarati, in the West, and various southern scripts, including the Granth alphabet, which was especially devised for Sanskrit texts. Sanskrit texts continue to be published in regional scripts, although in fairly recent times, Devanagari has become more generally used. There is a large corpus of literature in Sanskrit covering a wide range of subjects. The earliest compositions are the Vedic texts. There are also major works of drama and poetry, although the exact dates of many of these works and their creators have not been definitively established. Important authors and works include Bhasha, for example, his Swapan Vyasvadatta, who is assigned widely varying dates but definitely worked prior to Kalidas, who mentions him Kalidasa, dated anywhere from the 1st century BCE to the 4th century CE, whose works include Shakuntala. More fully, Shakuntala recalled through recognition, or the recognition of Shakuntala, possibly dating to the 3rd century CE. Bhairavi and his Kirtarjunya, Arjuna and the Kirata, from approximately the 7th century Magha, whose Shishupal Vadha, the slaying of Shishupal, dates to the late 7th century and from about the early 8th century. Bhavbhuti, who wrote Mahavir Krita, deeds of the great hero. Sanskrit is not restricted to Hindi compositions. It also has been used by Jaina and Buddhist scholars. The latter primarily Mahayana Buddhist. Further, Sanskrit is recognized in the Constitution of India as both a classical language and an official language, and continues to be used in scholarly, literary, and technical media, as well as in periodicals, radio, television, and film. In its grammatical structure, Sanskrit is similar to other early Indo-European languages such as Greek and Latin. It is an inflected language. For instance, the Sanskrit nominal system, including nouns, pronouns, and adjectives, has three genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Three numbers: singular, dual, and plural, and seven syntactic cases: nominative, accusative, instrumental, dative, ablative, genitive, and locative. In addition to a vocative, however, a full set of distinct forms occurs only in the singular of masculine a stems of the type deva, god; nominative devas; accusative devam; instrumental devana; dative devaya; ablative devat; genitive devasya; locative deve; and vocative deva. Adjectives are inflected to agree with nouns, and there are distinct pronominal forms for certain cases. For example, tasmai, tasmet, tasmin, masculine, neuter, dative, ablative, and locative singular, respectively. That one. Verbs inflect for tense, mode, voice, number, and person. These may be illustrated by third person active forms of pak, cook, bake, used if cooking is done for someone other than the agent, including the present indicative pakati, cooks, is cooking; the proximate future pakshyati, will cook, referring to an act that will take place at some time in the future, possibly including the day on which one is speaking. Thus, we find Sanskrit has a very great importance, and it's very beautiful prehistoric record.